everyone, we are Group 5. I'm Iris Tsailing. There are my good members, Dina, Wu Caiping, and Leo Xiangli. Today we are going to show you a presentation. The topic is dealing with accidents and emergencies. This is our outline. We have divided our presentation into 6 parts. The first one is word up, the second one is vocabulary, the third one is scenario 1, the fourth one is discussion question, that is activity 1. The next one will be inside story. Now let's get started with word up. I will give the floor to Leo.
At the beginning of our presentation, let's warm up together. How do you react to the emergencies? The first, it is important for us to keep countdown. When we are encounter the emergencies, at the same time, try to find the correct solution to the problem. That is, to keep countdown to analyze what kind of the emergencies that you have met and appropriately solve it. Next, improvisation. Improvisation is a performance that actor or musicians has not planned or practiced before. Emergencies responders will improvise to meet the demands of specific situation. Therefore, there are different types of improvisation, such as reproductive, adaptive, and creative. Finally, if it is necessary to ask for help, please don't hesitate to do it. After warming up, I will introduce the vocabulary in scenario 1. I need all of you to repeat after me. The first one, on board.
On board.
On board, which means on a ship, train, aircraft, or spacecraft. Second, open sea.
Open sea.
Open sea is the main body of a sea or ocean. An example of open sea is the middle of Pacific Ocean, especially the part that is outside territorial waters and not enclosed or partially enclosed by land. Next, launch. Launch is a section on ship, train, or airplane, which contains a lot of various club or social facilities, such as bar counter or sofa. And then refrain. Refrain is to abstain or keep away from doing, saying, or feeling something. When we use refrain in sentence, we always use it with a from, so it could be refrain from. Finally, orientation. Orientation is an introduction as to guide someone in adjusting to new surroundings or adapting in new situation, employment, activity, or the like. I hope all of you are familiar with the vocabulary. And next on, Iris and Dina will present the scenario 1. Please pay attention on how Iris responds to Dina to solve the problem.
Good morning, everyone. We will begin our registration on board shortly. Please prepare your registration card and line up in the correct line for quick check-in.
Excuse me, how can I tell in which line I should line up?
If you take a look at the back of your card, you will see a number indicating where you should line up.
I have another question. Can I access the internet on the ship? And how can I contact my family from out at sea?
Good question. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you cannot use your personal mobile or other electronic devices to access the internet. And it's not possible to phone your family or friends via mobile, since there is no signal connection on the open seas.
There must be some way to keep in touch with the outside world. We need to keep in touch with our clients all the time. This is something we're going to need to insist on you helping us to figure out.
Sorry, I didn't make myself clear enough. Though you cannot use your mobile, we do provide alternatives. There are satellite phones and desktops on the ship. You can access the internet using the desktop in the lounge, and they are free of charge.
Is there any time limit on using the internet?
We ask that you please refrain from using this for over 20 minutes in a single session to ensure others can have a turn. As for a satellite phone option, it's charged by the minute and sold not so cheap. Alright, any other questions?
Yes. We're not familiar with the entertainment facilities available on board. How can we use them?
Don't worry, ma'am. We have an orientation shortly after the registration process. It also includes a safety precautions demonstration. This is very important, and everyone is expected to join. Okay, could everyone please proceed to your desk to finish the registration?
After the conversation, there are some questions. What alternatives can clients use on board to connect with their family and friends? Satellite phones and desktops. Second, how long can clients use the internet in a single session?
B.
20 minutes. What will they do after registering?
If the answer is A.
Have an orientation. Yes. This is end of the scenario 1. And I will give the floor to Dina.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dina. I'm in charge of discussion questions. In the following part, there will be an emergency situation. You can check your textbook on page 51. Let's first look at the situation. Please read with me together. One of the passengers'
His passport has already expired when he is ready to check in at the airport, but he hopes to travel together with the company.
So how can he deal with this problem? Is there anyone had the same experiences? No? That's okay. Here is the solution, is to apply for an emergency passport. Later, I will show you a video. Before watching the video, I would like to give you a quick preview to the discussion questions. Please read the questions together.
What are the 2 things you should remember?
Second one,
What will be the subject of the email?
that's one.
Which is not needed when you go for your appointment?
After looking at the questions, I think I believe that you can pay more attention to the video and answer the questions correctly. So let's look at the video.
You're watching this video because your United States passport is either lost, stolen, or expired. I'm here to explain over the next few minutes how to get you the emergency passport you need. Emergency passports are intended for U.S. citizens who need to travel immediately to the United States due to an unexpected incident. And one thing to say right up front, you are not alone. This happens all the time, and our team at the consulate is here to help. Two things you should remember. First, go online. I know it is tempting to make a call and talk to someone who is human. Trust me, the quickest way to get your emergency passport is to go online. Once you get to the website, you'll be asked to do two things. First, make an appointment. Don't worry, making an appointment in the online calendar can still get you an emergency passport quickly. We'll talk about it at your interview. If you don't find an available appointment prior to your flight, send an email to jerusalemacs@state.gov and write the word emergency in the email subject and attach a copy of your paid travel itinerary or return ticket. Normally, we can get you scheduled as soon as 8 a.m. the next working day. Second, after making an appointment, complete the necessary forms that you will then print out and bring to the consulate. When you come in for your appointment, don't forget you need 5 things. First, you need the forms that you completed at our consulate website. Second, you need 2 5x5 centimeter photographs. Third, if you are applying for a child under the age of 16, make sure both parents are present for the interview with valid photo identification and the birth certificate of the child or children. Fourth, you will need to pay your fees, usually $135, but in some cases slightly less. Fifth, you must have a paid itinerary showing that you are traveling soon and therefore need an emergency passport. You come to the consulate, present your forms, your photographs, you pay your fees, and have a short interview with the consular officer. We can usually get your emergency passport issued in time to make your trip. So keep calm and go online.
Alright, so this is our video. Let's move on to the discussion questions. Is there anyone know the answer of first question? Nina?
Go online and complete forms.
That's right. Go online and complete forms. The second question, Coco. Emergency, that's right. Last one, there are 4 options. Which one is not needed? Any volunteers? Emma?
Identity card.
That's right. Identity card is not needed when you go for your appointment. So this is the end of discussion questions. Let's move on to the activity 1. In activity 1, I designed a short conversation between 2 people, and it's about another emergency situation. Means the connecting flight. You can check your textbook on page 52. After the conversation, we will have some Q&A questions, so please pay attention to the keywords that were highlighted.
Hi, Dana. It's been a long time since we met last time. How was your trip to Brazil?
Oh, it didn't go on smoothly as I thought.
Really? What happened during the trip?
Well, I missed the connecting flight when I was at Amsterdam, and it was the last flight of the evening.
That's terrible. How come did you miss it?
It was due to delay.
It's not your fault. Did you ask the airline for help?
Sure, They helped me to rebook a flight and arranged a hotel for me to stay while the 18-hour wait until the next available flight.
Sounds not bad. Didn't you have any other request?
I did keep my rights to extend offer me food tickets. This is the Q&A part. The first question, where would Dina fly to? Emma?
Brazil.
That's right, Brazil. The second question is, why the connecting flight was missed? Anyone else? Jojo?
Due to delay.
Yes, it was due to delay. The last question, what was passengers' request? Anyone? Dory?
Offer food ticket.
That's right, food tickets. This is the end of activity 1. Now I'm giving the floor to Iris.
It's all the end of our presentation. Now I would like to make a short conclusion for you. In today's presentation, we have mentioned the reaction of emergencies and some advices for traveling emergencies. We hope this presentation will be helpful for you in the future. Now I'm going to share our inside story with you. Our first meeting is on December 5th. We discussed the way of presenting and assigned our jobs. The second meeting is on December 14th. We deal with the problems we encountered and revise our slides. The final meeting is on December 19th. We rehearse our presentation to make sure everything goes smoothly. This is our meeting minutes. Next is job assignment. I'm Iris. I'm the actor in Scenario 1 and Activity 1. Also, I design the PPT and organize the meeting. Next, I will give the floor to Dina.
Hi, I'm Dina. I am the actor in Scenario 1 and I am in charge of discussion questions and Activity 1. Also, I am the PPT reviser. Next, I'm going to give the floor to Leo.
I'm in charge of the warm-up and vocabulary part. And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Next is comment time. We will give the floor to Group 1 after 5 minutes.
Hello everyone, we are Group 1, and I want to introduce ourselves first. I'm Liang, Ace, and here's my team member, Angela, Liang, and Gina, Hongwanji. We are going to give some comments on Group 5. We divide our comments into 3 parts. First, performance. Second, arrangement. And third, PPT layout. I'm responsible for arrangement. I noticed that there are 2 points is very good. First is the arrangement of the question. First, they begin with some hints before discuss question, and then give us some time to look at the question, and then give us a chance to answer the question. I think it's very good because we can answer the question and learn more. And then second point is they choose some volunteer in advance. I think it's very good. In Chinese we call it 暗装. Hi. 暗装 means in English, choose a person with some people in advance in your meeting or speech, so that you can, if there aren't people to answer your question, they will help you to answer the question. It's very effective because it helps the meeting go smoothly and warmer and warmer. In a word, their meeting, because of their arrangement, their meeting is more smoothly and successfully. Then I want to give my floor to Angela.
Hi, I'm Angela Liang. I want to talk about their presentation. It's impressive that they link the video to answer the discussion question. And I like they also provide some useful method that if we have the problem that passport expired. And from their presentation, we can know how to do if we have some difficulties. We need to count down first. And I will give the floor to Tina. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tina. I'm in charge of their PowerPoint. We think their PowerPoint is simple and clear. In their warm-up part, they use pictures to support their point, and in their discussion question part, they use video to provide more details. In conclusion, we have talked about their arrangement, presentation, and PowerPoint. We think they make a good presentation. Next, I will give the floor to Group 2. Thank you.
Good afternoon, we are Group 2, and I'm Angel Zhang Jiajun. They are my group members, Michelle Liang Mengting and Zoe Jian Ziyun. Today we are making comments on Group 5. We divided our comments into 3 parts. The first part is warming up and scenario. Second is discussion question. And the final is activity. I'll start from the first part. In their warming up, they use only simple pictures instead of many words to catch our attention. In their scenario part, Iris and Dina have pauses between the sentences that make us know they are not just reading the script. Besides, they provide us their own Q&A to let us review the scenario parts. Next, I will give the floor to Michelle.
Hello everyone, my name is Michelle, and I'm in charge of their discussion questions. Group 5 has chose a very different approach to present their discussion questions by showing us a video on how to get an emergency passport if we are ever Americans. But we are not. But it's still very helpful nonetheless. Also, before they show us the video, Dina was kind enough to ask us to repeat the questions so it can catch our attention, just in case our mind drift off somewhere else when we watch the videos. Also, when she was asking for volunteers to answer the questions, she maintained very strong and firm eye contact with each and one of us. And that is something that we should pay attention to when we are asking the audience's questions. Now I shall give the floor to Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm in charge in the Activity 1 and the Inside Story. First of all, I think in Activity 1, both Iris and Dina are excellent actresses. It's because while they are presenting, they have proper poses and strong and eye contact to each other, just like Angela just mentioned. Angel, sorry. And I think it made the process more smooth and natural. Next, after the whole presentation, Iris gave us a short conclusion which just emphasize what they just talked. I think it's really good. And the last one is in their inside story, they not only just show the picture of they have a meeting. Also show us the meanings is good. And in conclusion, we just mention their scenario, discussion question, and I just finished my part, activity 1. I think they did a great job, and this is end of our comments. I will give the floor to group 3. Thank you.
Good afternoon, we are group 3. I'm Dory Guo Ziyao.
I'm Jojo Wang Yunqiao.
And Leonardo is absent today. We divided our comment into 4 parts. First is stage performance, second is the design of PPT slide, and third is content of presentation, and the fourth is the advantage and the conclusion. I'm in charge of their PPT slide, their design of PPT slide, and their stage performance. First is their design of PPT. First, we like their PPT because their PPT is very simple, not too complicated, but with some pictures and highlighted words. Second is their stage performance. First, they always put smile on face. Also, their voice is soft but not too loud or high. It can attract us to focus on their presentation. The second point is in their scenario and activity part, they always use hand gesture or some actions in their conversation, not just read the conversation. For example, when Dina say, "Excuse me," she raised her hands. Also, Dina and Iris always have eye contact when they do the conversation. They acted realistically. It can make us clearly know what they are talking about in the conversation. This is my part. I will give the floor to Jojo.
Hi, I'm Jojo. I'm going to talk about the contents of their presentation, the advantage of the group 5, and the conclusion. So first, about the content. When Leo is delivering go through the vocabulary, instead of reading all the explanations to us, he used his own wording to explain to us and provide the further explanations. Also, Group 5 is the first group to show us the video, and I think the best part of showing the video to us is they go through all the questions, so we will focus on the video instead of just go through the video. I think we can learn from them. Also, as for the advantage of this group is when Leo is too nervous to memorize the vocabulary, Dina just provides him the assistant on time. He just gave him the notes so he can go through the presentation. Also, when Dina is giving us the prize when we answer the questions, she didn't just give us the prize, she also said Merry Christmas to us. I think it is very kind and warm. So now I'm going to go through the conclusion. We have mentioned their stage performance, the design of their presentation, also the content and their advantage. We think they are a great and professional presenter, and we can learn a lot from them. This is the end of our comments. Next, I'll give the floor to Group 4. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 4. Today we're going to give comments on Group 5's presentation. I'm Emma Jiang Zixuan. Today we are going to divide our comment into 4 parts: eye contact, visual aids, pronunciation, and finally is their warm-up. I'm in charge of their eye contact. First of all, I want to divide their eye contact into 2 parts. First, while they are giving the presentation, all of them have deep and good eye contact with the audience. It is very important while you are sharing your contents to your audience. Eye contact is the most important thing for me. If you have good eye contact, then your audience can feel that you are very confident about your content. Thus, I think they do the very good part. They did a very good job at this part. And next, while they are giving the scenario, Dina and Iris have eye contact with each other to make us feel like they are really in this situation, to make us understand easier. Next, I'm going to give the floor to Ruby.
Hello everyone, I'm Ruby Santi. I'm in charge of the second part, visual aids. I will divide my part into 2 parts. Is video part and PPT part. As you can see, they played a video to support what they are going to say. So we think the video helped us to understand what they are talking about more clearly. Next is their PPT design. The PPT is clear to understand. The color is not too dark or too light. The next one is their pronunciation. We think their pronunciation is clear to understand. Also, their intonation is not too flat, so we can understand more what they are talking about. Next, I will give the floor to Leo.
Hi, I'm Leo. I'm going to talk about their warm-up. After that, I'm going to give you a short conclusion. Although Leo forgot some part of his content, he also did a good job in his part. There are a lot of pictures and photos in the warm-up which can support his ideas and can catch and grab our attention. Therefore, we can pay our full hearts and focus on the content. In conclusion, we have mentioned 4 parts in our comments: eye contact, visual aids, pronunciation, and warm-up. We can learn these things from them. This is then the end of our comments. Then I'm going to give the floor to Group 6.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 6. I would like to introduce my group member first. I'm Ellie Liao Zhuxiu. This is Sam Liu Yuming and Nina Liu Luoqi. Today we are going to make comments on Group 5. We divide our comments into 4 parts. It's like warming up in the scenario 1, and Sam will in charge of the discuss questions. Nina will in charge of the last part, activity 1. Now I would like to make comments on their warm up in scenario 1. First of all, I would like to encourage Leo, because though he is not so confident and a bit rely on his notes, but he still tried his best to recall his memory and keep going the presentation. I think he did a good job on this part. And in their warming up content, they use a lot of pictures to give us example and explanations, so we can more understand about this part. And the visual aids is do a good job. Next is about the scenario 1. Scenario 1, they have a preview of the vocabulary, so we can understand the contents easily. And their PPT is so easy to read and clean, so we can go on the PPT, follow them to what the content they are going to talk about. And Dina, I think the interaction Q&A part is very interesting. We can review the contents and get the gift the food. So I think it's interesting. Next, I will give the floor to Sam.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Sam. I'm in charge of discussion question. In discussion question part, they show us videos of solving problems about expired passport. It is very useful for us to avoid similar problems and make us pay attention to what they want to discuss. Next, I will give the floor to Nina.
Hello, I'm Nina Rochi. I noticed two things from the activity one. The first one is when Dina and Iris play a show drama for us, they still have a fun eye contact with each other. And next one is all of them speak with good intonation, so we don't feel bored when listening their presentation. In conclusion, we have mentioned 4 parts: warming up, scenario 1, discuss question, and active 1. We think they did a great job. Next, I will give the floor to Group 7.
Good afternoon, we are Group 7. We are going to make comment on Group 5. We will divide our comment into 3 parts, including delivery, stage performance, and content. I will make comment on their delivery. Sarah is in charge of the stage performance. Next, Bunny will talk about their content. I will divide my comment into 3 parts. Comment on them individually. The first one is Iris. Her voice isn't very loud but really smooth, and her pronunciation is clear that made me feel really at ease to listen to her. The next one is Dina. I like her way to present because she is not just read to us, she also asks us to read the sentences and the questions together. That made me more impressed on her points and quickly find the answer to the question during the video. Furthermore, she had proper pauses between the sentences, so it made me feel not very rushed during her presentation. The last one is Leo. I think he is a little nervous, but he still tried hard to give us the complete presentation. So these are my comments on Group 5. Next, I will give the floor to Sarah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sarah. I'm in charge of the stage performance part. I think they all have strong eye contact and a big smile to us. They also have gestures to point their keywords out, especially Dina and Iris. They are always smiling and their voice is loud enough to hear, and the rate not too fast or too slow. They also not nervous on the stage. I think they did a great job. Next, Leo's part, she is very nervous on the stage. But he still tried his best to memorize his speech. I think he should kill it up. Next, I will give the floor to Bunny.
Hello everyone, my name is Bunny. I will divide my comment into 2 points. First of all, in the discussion questions part, Dina they type up the situation and the solution. Besides, they also prepare a clear and practical video and also some questions after the video, and they mark the answer with the red color so that we can deeply remember how to solve it if we encounter this kind of problem in the future. Second, Iris in the end, Iris give us a brief conclusion. So I think it's complete enough for a presentation. In conclusion, we have divided our comments into 3 parts: delivery, stage performance, and content. And we really learned a lot from that. Next, and this is the end of our comment. Next, I will give the floor to Group 8. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are Group 8. Today we are going to make a comment on Group 5. I am Kong Xiaoyun. She is Coco Li Yufan.
And the car is absent today.
Why?
He has a flu, I think. He got a flu.
Now it's my turn to make a comment on their stage performance, and I have 2 points. First of all, it's about their delivery. I think their speaking tone is a little slow, but they still try hard to explain every part in details. In addition, they have eye contact and ask some questions to interact with the audience. Second is about their content. Liang introduced vocabulary well, but I think he is too nervous to forget what she wants to say. He forgot what he wants to say.
I'm sorry.
As for Dina and Iris, they both had a good conversation. It made us know clearly about how to deal with accidents and emergencies. Next, I will give the floor to Coco.
Hi, I'm Coco, and today I will make a short conclusion about their presentation. As you can learn from their presentation, they've provided some fuller acknowledges that we cannot simply learn from our textbook, such as the countermeasure about stolen or lost passport while you're traveling abroad. And I think it is really helpful because it could happen, this kind of incident could happen to any one of us. So I think they did a great job on their presentation. And this is the end of our comments. We will give the floor back to Group 5. Yeah, Group 5. Thank you.
First of all, we want to thank all of your comments. We really learned a lot from your comments. And thanks for your participant in our presentation. So we choose today's best group of comments is Group 3. Group 3.
The reason why we choose Group 3 is because they gave feedback comprehensively. They covered many points. For example, they mentioned about our voice or advantages and hand gestures and PPT design. So they make comments on details, and really appreciate that.
I really learned a lot from your comments, and therefore I can improve myself better than before. Also, I want to thank Dr. Liang to give me opportunity to work with Liang. She really has a lot of ideas about the presentation, and she really helped me a lot about our EBT. Without her, I can complete this presentation by myself. Thank you, Dina. Next, I will give the floor to Dina.
Okay. It's my pleasure to prepare the presentation with Iris and also Leo, although he absent sometimes. But we work together and we communicate with the problems and deal with the problems. And again, I want to thank all of you, your participation on our presentation, including interact with me on the discussion questions and Q&A.
And would you like to explain something about the andrunk?
Oh no, we didn't.
Then you need to prepare yourself because someone mentioned that in their comments. If you didn't do that, then you need to explain. It's a time for you to prepare yourself.
I just choose anyone who raise their hands.
So that's what you need to do in your feedback time. Try to comment on their comments.
So that's all our feedback. Thank you very much.
Okay.